Another thing, while we're on this subject, by the way, life is not like a box of chocolates. Speaking of Forrest Gump, okay, I want to clear that up. Life is not like a box of chocolates. Life is like buying pot in your high school parking lot, okay? There's a lot of waiting, there's a lot of paranoia. If you get what you want, it's about half as good as you hoped it would be, and it probably costs about twice as much as it should, okay? Just so you know.
My name's Spencer Dobson. I've been a comedian for a really long time. It's really likely you've never heard of me, though, or you know me and you've never seen my work. So be it. I've come to terms with that. I'm having a major birthday this week. It's one of those birthdays where you go, holy crap, I'm old. What have I done with my life? Also, I'm staying inside because of the COVID stuff, and it gave me time to reflect and go over some things. The comedy has been a crazy ride. It's been up, it's been down, it's been good, it's been bad. I've never quite reached the levels I was hoping to reach. Granted, I realize that's true for most people. But I am happy with some of the stuff that I've made. I don't know what's going to happen when all of this is over. I don't know if I'm going to go back to doing stand-up. I don't know if I'm going to move on to other things. It's really hard to say, and I don't know if there's going to be stand-up to go back to. However, this is how I spent the last couple of decades. Now, the stuff I'm going to show you is from the 2000s and the 90s. After watching my old tapes, what I found was that I was surprised. Like I liked my material. I stand by it. I think I did a good job. Most of you, I realize, weren't there to see it. And I never figured out how to get like an HBO special or a Comedy Central. I would still love to, but that didn't happen. So this is what I got, and you can check it out right now here for free. So this is like a little, trip in a Wayback Machine. There's some pretty great shirts. There's some pretty terrible haircuts. Trigger warning: I did record this in the 90s, and so I do use the R word. If that's going to bum you out, I don't know what to tell you. It's in there, and that's the deal. No malice, but that's how people talked. This is free, by the way, and I hope you enjoy it. But if you would like to donate some money to the This Is What Spencer Dobson Did With His Life Fund, you can do so at paypal.me/spendob. Like I said, the clips in this video go from about 95 to 2005. Over the course of that time, my life changed a lot. I moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. I got sober. I quit smoking. Blah, 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 blah. Here's jokes.
Good? Okay. I'm kind of a depressed person, I'll admit it. And a lot of people say you should take antidepressants. And I don't take antidepressants for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is, you might have heard this on the news, one of the side effects of antidepressants is they make you commit suicide. A couple of problems with that. What was the side effect that was going to make them go, that's a bit much? Like you commit suicide by beating yourself to death with a human child? I mean, what's your line, man? Look, and I talk to people who've done them, and they say, well, you don't feel anything. Oh, I don't feel anything, and I want to commit suicide. I have a drug that makes me feel amazing and makes me want to commit suicide. It's called tequila. I think what they should do is figure out more specific ways, like how you will commit suicide, and they could put it on the bottle. And then people would be kind of like, you'd have something to look forward to. This is kind of perking me up, and I know in about 2 weeks I'm going to be antagonizing a pack of cougars while wearing a suit made of bacon. If there's a gas attack, you are to take plastic wrap and duct tape it over your windows, and that will protect you in the event of a gas attack. If you live next to a nuclear reactor, you are to take potassium iodide. That will protect your thyroid gland in case there's a nuclear meltdown. Whose grandfather is coming up with this shit? Exactly. Who's the old man that's walking around Washington, D.C. going, you catch a terrorist, you rub a potato on him, leave him out under the full moon, come morning time, instead of arms, he'll have pancakes. You can't commit no act of terror, no pancake arms. You take a fistful of Mike and Ike's, you drop them in your hard drive, government can't read your email. You take a latex condom, you spritzel it with Red Bull soda, put it in a microwave oven 2.4 seconds, you get good cell phone reception the rest of your days. I don't know who's naming stuff, but I think they're getting better at it. I will give you an example. SARS, monkeypox, fantastic. And it goes to show you the government has learned something that I have known for years, which is if you add monkeys to it, you make it better. I'll give you an example. Uncle Joe's got cancer. Uncle Joe's got monkey cancer. It's not great, but it's better. And it doesn't have to end with monkeys. Uncle Joe's got cerebral palsy. Uncle Joe's got platypus palsy. Gay marriage is a big topic right now, and people are very hot about it, and they're crazy about it, and the thing is, let it go, just let them be, it's okay, just get over it, Skittles are gay M&Ms. Do we have to move, or can we just let it go? Huh? Crepe's a gay pancake, you gonna paint the house? Or you just gonna get over it? Huh? Scone's a gay muffin, so what, we can't have Christmas?
The Straight Guy, that's a television show about a couple of gay guys that go out and help people. By the way, it shouldn't be. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy should be a television show about a straight guy that loses his eye. Then there's a gay guy, and he's a serial killer. And the cops kill him, and come to find out, he's also an organ donor. So they take his eye, and they give it to the straight guy. And every now and again, the queer eye takes over the straight guy's brain. So he'll just be standing there minding his own business. The other day I was eating bacon and the dog came up and started farting. And let me cut your face up, you little bitch! What the fuck just happened? I want my eye back. That's bullshit.
Man, I did the coolest thing this summer. I did something I hadn't done before this summer. I went tubing on the Apple River. Sweet! It was really fun. But I didn't know that tubing down a river was such a stripper-friendly sport. You get there, and there's signs for the strip joints where you pick up your tube. And then they put you on a bus, and there's signs for the strip joints on the bus. And then there's signs for the strip joint on the river, and then there's a place where you can get out of your tube, get on a bus, go to a bar, see a naked woman, have a beer, they'll bring you back to keep on tubing. God bless America! I was of the assumption that it would be kind of an even playing field, where everybody would show up with their little inner tube and their cooler of beer and their Ziploc bag full of cigarettes, and you just float down the river with whatever God gave you. Oh, I don't think so. There were guys there that had a flotilla of tubes tied together, and they had big boards across the top of it, and there's a boombox on one end. It's just a monster. It's just, hey, you want to go that feel good? Hey, you want to make me all right? Big-ass American flag and a keg of beer, and girls with big boobs standing on lawn chairs drinking beer bongs in the middle of the river, and I'm pulling by with a Bud Light thinking, I'm a dick. I didn't know. And it occurs to me that these guys are tubers. That's what they do. Right now, they're sitting in a basement somewhere talking about what kind of tube wax they should use so they can corner better, you know? Swapping like the lenses of tubing. Oh, the best tuba, yeah, well, geez, that's a tough one, but I'd have to say Jimmy Johnson. He once started at the headwaters of the Mississippi River, tubed all the way to New Orleans. All I had with him was a 12-pack of Old Milwaukee bottle of Jägermeister. He lost his buddy One-Eyed Jim in a lock. All that was left of him was half a tube in his foot, and I keep that with me for good luck. And as I mentioned, there's strippers all over the place there, but the place is surrounded by strip joints, and there's only so many hours a day they can spend doing the Stairmaster and sculpting their pubic mound, and then they have to go find something entertaining. But I learned something about strippers, and that is that they have the same problem that doctors and comics have. And that is that when people find out what you do for a living, they want you to do your job for free. Like people always walk up to doctors, no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing. You know, as soon as people find out they're a doctor, they walk out to, excuse me, but my ass hurts. You know, I'm eating a sandwich. And don't get me wrong, I like when people come up to me, but when you're a comic, don't be afraid to talk to me after the show or anything like that, but when you're a comic and you have friends, any weird thing that passes through their mind, they gotta share it with you, you know what I mean? I had a buddy come up to me about 2 weeks ago, and he goes, hey man, you ever know somebody who drink a lot of coffee, and then you'll pee, and your pee will smell like coffee? But it's not brown. Where does the brown go? And I go, well, did you ever notice you don't eat a lot of brown food, and yet when it comes out, that's the coffee. But like strippers, that would be the worst, man. You imagine people walking up to you all the time, you know, finding out what you do, and just going up to you going, excuse me, miss, I know you're busy and everything, but could you possibly just go, oh, yeah. Girl, give me a dollar. I can't even go grocery shopping when people know you're a stripper, you know? Hey, what are you going to do with that banana? I'm going to eat it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not...
Man, you guys are so good. Thank you for coming. Have you ever heard like a news story and it like scares the shit out of you and then they don't follow up on it?
Very quickly, I do feel this shirt is loud enough, and the mutton chops are muttony enough. I feel like there should be some explanation. It seems like I was trying to comb my hair like with a part to the side, but I have really fine hair and it doesn't do that. I honestly am not a big drug user. I don't know, and I'm not an Elvis fan. I don't know what possessed me to grow mutton chops. But there they are, and that shirt is either the best or the worst shirt I've ever seen. Anyway, back to the comedy.
Man, you guys are so good. Thank you for coming. Have you ever heard like a news story and it like scares the shit out of you and then they don't follow up on it with anything? You know what I mean? I heard this story, these two guys in Texas, they arrested them because they were going to overthrow the government and start like an Aryan nation in Washington and Oregon. And then they never said shit else about it. First of all, they're from Texas. As I've mentioned, I've been to Texas. There are some very smart, very enlightened, very cool people in Texas, but you also don't have to drive real far in Texas to find some pretty serious, you know. Mama, will you help me tie my Velcros? And like, I want to know what the plan was, man. You know, was it some brilliant Pinky and the Brain-esque sort of plan where they're filling the Secret Service with like Manchurian candidates who are gonna like hijack Air Force One when they hear the secret code word, you know, like Britney Spears deserves a Grammy or Chris Gaines was a good idea, you know, whatever. Fly it up to the mothership where they have an exact duplicate Air Force One piloted by like an evil doppelganger Bill Clinton who would then return to DC and assume power without anybody noticing and start passing laws through the legislature to promote his evil honky agenda. Like anybody who's not white that moves from Washington and Oregon to Denver gets free cake for the rest of their life. But then Cokie Roberts noticed that Bill Clinton was drinking an Orange Crush. Now she knows that gives him a big rash on his ass and she thinks to herself, something crazy going on here. So she goes, well, Blitzer, come, we have to compare notes in the closet, which is actually press corps slang for let's go have a little quickie in the closet. And she's not like that, but Wolf Blitzer's a fucking poo hound and you know it. So They're in the closet. The evil Bill Clinton doesn't know they're in there. He goes and gets on the phone with his buddy in Texas. They hear the whole plan. They're like, oh shit, we have to save the president. So they go to the CIA, who sent the Bikini Ninja Squad with throwing stars, the nunchucks, and the kiss boots, and the big tits, and they're sexy, but the mission don't tell for them. And they save the president. They take him back to D.C., and they're about to break the story to the American people, besides it's just too freaky for everybody to handle, so they say, fuck it, and go to Pizza Hut. Now, was it a good plan like that? Was it more of a, we got a whole truckload full of donkey poo, we're gonna keep chucking turds at the White House till you bitches give us Oregon. What you gonna do about that, Chubby? I hate those. What do you need a white country for God's sakes? Isn't Branson, Missouri enough? Come on, that's... Who's holding down the honkies, you know? There's a lot of people in this country that had a rough time because of their skin, but it wasn't whitey, you know? Like, I'd like to be at the meeting when they're figuring out who's fucking over whitey, you know? Well, if it wasn't for the midgets with the donkeys, the white man would be free to roam and sing and jump around and knit hats out of beer cans and play Hungry Hungry Hippos and listen to George Thorogood albums till 3 o'clock in the morning, but getting to the point where a white man can't walk to a convenience store without a midget with a donkey, kicking him in the dick and taking all his Tic Tacs.
Do you guys smoke pot? I don't smoke pot. I don't do anything anymore. I also don't smoke pot because I'm shitty at smoking pot. You know what I mean? That's the worst. So there's 3 kinds of people in the world who smoke pot. There's people like me. When I smoke pot, I get so paranoid and distracted by the fact that I'm high. I can't have a conversation. I'll be at a party and people come up to me and say something like, hey Spencer, I rented some of Zapruder's other films over the weekend and those sucked. And I'll say something cool like, the people that get something out of it, those are people who smoke pot and the music's better, right? And the jokes are funnier and everybody's cooler and snack foods are just fantastic! Dude, this is a Dorito. Try them with the frosting. The third kind of people are the people that really gave it a bad name, though. You know what I mean? Those are the people who see them at a party and they're sitting in a corner and they're just hugging the bong. You know, they're just sucking on it like it's their mother's teeth. Like, they don't talk to anybody. Like, nobody can touch the stereo because they've heard him singing in the membrane for like the 16 billion times in a row. Never hear anything come out of it, but every now and again you get to hear this. When you're high, like the solution's always clear eyes, you know? Like if your eyes are white, they won't notice the other shit. You know? Like, if my eyes are white, nobody's gonna pay attention to the fact that I'm doing, I know I'm breathing. But, do you think I'm breathing too much? I get to the convenience store, I'm so paranoid, I'm so high, I'm worried that the guy who works at the convenience store is gonna find out that I'm high. I don't know if you're all catching the irony of that statement. I'm worried that a guy who works at a convenience store will figure out I'll be standing there with a fistful of baby Snickers and one of those pens with the eyeball on the top. There's caramel and nougat on that and peanuts. It's delicious. And look at that eyeball. That's freaking you pot smoking son of a bitch. Sitting in my parking lot smoking dope out of a Mountain Dew can, you punch a bunch of holes in. Say, look at that eyeball, baby. Like lure you into the back room, lock the door, get on the phone with the cops. You gotta come down here. His eyes are red like the devil, and he's stuffing ho-hos in his head like there's no tomorrow. He must have licked everything in the store 6 or 8 times. Please, detain him. You can't work at a convenience store if you don't smoke. It's just the fact. That's the only way you can tolerate the scratch tickets. I hate the scratch tickets because you get there and there's always an old guy and it's like all of his hopes and all of his drinking, everything is riding on it. And he's got to do it right. He's got to like hold up, you know what I mean? There's a line. Oh, I want $1. I'm going to take that ticket. Lonely bachelor with like a roll of toilet paper and a can of soup. Trying to strike up conversation. I don't care what anybody says. I think Squeaky and Fonzie are 2 sides of the same coin. Squeak, squeak. I can't control my poop. Squeak.
About 5 more? Ah, crap. What do you guys want to talk about? I'll keep with the drugs. Hey, when did the legal drugs become scarier than the illegal drugs? Did you notice that? Oh my God, they've got a bunch of drugs now, and you take them and like, you won't be shy anymore, or you can dance better, or you lose a bunch of weight, or you get your hair back, but then a bunch of horrible, horrible crap will happen to you, like if you're ever pleasing yourself in front of a glass coffee table, when you finish, it'll sound like you dropped a fistful of chickle bits, and you're like, I'm gonna stay fat. I don't play that. Look, I, like you, have taken my share of drugs, okay? I've taken most of the good ones. I've taken drugs that made me see music, for God's sakes. Walked out of the speakers and sat down. We played some cards together. Had to go have lunch with its mother, but I assure you it was very nice. I have never taken an illegal drug that made me shit myself publicly and have the uncontrollable urge to do so. And therefore, I believe we might owe the dealers an apology. At least a commercial to even the field. This is your ass. This is your ass on Zyuprolifane. I lost 35 pounds in a week. I've never been so my hair's silky. I can dance and I'm riding a bike. 45 minutes later, she was crying with pleasure. Man. But people buy them. And that's how I know we're screwed. And that's what brings us to chicken fried chicken. Man, I was at an Applebee's, right? Because somebody else was buying. And I see on the menu they got a dish, it's called chicken fried chicken. And I don't know how much you eat, but there's already a dish called chicken fried steak. What you do to make that is you take a steak and then you fry it like chicken. Hence the name. Well, Applebee's went a step further. They substituted the steak with chicken. That's fried chicken, and they know it. Because that's not one guy. That's a huge corporation. You know, somebody at the table that day had to go, but sir, isn't that just fried chicken? Do you like your job, Jonathan? I'm sorry, no. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to weed out the troublemakers. Because they know people like you and me will see that and just go bonkers and end up pushing all our stuff down the street in a grocery cart going, you can't have chicken fried chicken, that's a fried chicken. And everybody that's left ends up at Applebee's with a bunch of crap in their pants, just staring out the window, trying to figure out what happened to the seasons, you know, trying to figure out some way to scrounge up enough money to fill the gas tank on the SUV they just had to buy, even though they'd never seen a gravel road in their entire retarded life. And now that gas costs like $7 billion a gallon, they should be pissed, but they took so many antidepressants, the only emotion they can muster is kind of... Thank you guys, have a good night.
So how you guys like the mall? Big mother, isn't it? Remember when it opened? Did you guys ever come out here when it first opened? And it was almost scary. You know what I mean? Because it's so big and there's so much stuff and there's so much build-up to it. You walk in and there's just lights everywhere and there are people selling you stuff. And like synopsises in your brain would start firing off that you didn't even know you had. You know, you start going into some little spaz. Like, oh, Jesus, it's too much stuff. I want to go to Target. This is bullshit. Ow, oh, God. Oh, Lord. But now I've kind of like acclimated to the mall, you know what I mean? And I kind of like it now, like especially because it's been around for a while, so it's getting kind of freaky. Like I was out here last spring, and there were some people having a prom, and they walked by the California Cafe, and it's like down the mall a little ways, and the California Cafe was all filled with kids in tuxedos and evening wear. Fun. Then I walked a little further. I came to the food court. Food court was all full of kids in tuxedos and evening wear. I don't care if it's the biggest mall in the United States of America, you can't take your damn prom date to a damn food court if you want to get laid, goddammit. There is just nothing in the world that strips the elegance out of a tuxedo like a red plastic tray covered in deep fried chicken balls, you know what I mean? There is not enough dip and sauce in the world to make you Rico Suave, and I don't give a shit how many toppings you got on one potato, too. You just got yourself a one-way ticket to Jack-Off-Bill, so enjoy the ride. And, you know, it's because you're in high school. They spend all their money on liquor. That's why they're in the food court. When you're in high school, you'll spend like $75 on a bottle of peach schnapps out of the trunk of my car.
This is job interviews at FEMA too, by the way. Like, oh my God, you look at like, first of all, you look at Katrina and you go, oh my God, there's no way that could have been worse. And then you go, well, they could have had a Pop Rocks factory, right? That would have sucked so hard. Oh no, my baby's been washed away in red delicious foam. Oh, don't they interview people though? I mean, come on. I mean, I realize he got the job because he's the president's friend. Fine, but isn't there somebody at FEMA that don't you have to fill out an application? Don't you have to have a sit down? Now, Michael, let's say there was a huge disaster. What do you think? What do you think people would need? Oh, I don't know, scrunchies, bacon, what? Man, the moral of that story is don't lie on your resume, right? I'm totally honest now because I don't ever want
want to end up in a situation where people are like, we wouldn't be getting raped by aliens if Spencer knew how to make a PowerPoint presentation. Get over my head, man. God. They dropped the ball on that so bad, right? It's just awful. It just makes me think, God, I hope we never get in a war. Oh, shit.
Run, run! Things have just gotten crazy, man. But say what you want about George W. Bush, and I say a lot of bad things about him, because I don't like him. But, you know, I gotta say, the guy helped me find Jesus. I want to explain. Bush, like, is the most Jesus-y president we've ever had, right? Like, remember during the debates, and they asked him who his favorite philosopher was, and he said, it's Jesus. And Bush was a guy, when he was the governor of Texas, he executed more people than any governor ever. And he runs for president, and he doesn't win, and he gets to be president anyway. Then he gets into office, we start to figure out, this guy's kind of... Then 9/11 happens. It's terrible. We freak out. We look to him. What does he do? He goes into Afghanistan. A bunch of people die. Not necessarily the people we're trying to kill. He becomes amazingly popular. Praise Jesus. Now, some time has passed. We start to remember Bush is kind of... What do? We go into Iraq. What's going to happen? A bunch of people are going to die. Not necessarily the person we're trying to kill, but a bunch of people are going to die. He's becoming amazingly popular. Jesus wants us to kill 4 people. So I've been doing it, and it fucking works. I'm sleeping better, I'm popular at work, and I got a little bit of that in the pencil, you know.
Hey, we shot an old man into space. What the hell is that? We shot a 77-year-old man into space. Holy crap! They said, I love the gesture. It was, the real reason was so that people would pay attention to NASA and be interested in it again, and I'm all for that, that's fine. And obviously they thought they could handle the trip, but they wouldn't have done it. Well, we want to find out what the effect of space travel is on old people. That was one of the things they said. Wouldn't it be great if the effect of space travel on old people is it makes them real damn cranky? These mothers keep taking the daily double out of the paper. I can't find my slippers. I'm missing all of that. I'll get the hell away from my tank. This is a bunch of bullshit. I want to go home right now. You can't keep putting muffins in outer space. There are no good muffins in outer space. This sucks. Thank God it turns out that the effect of space travel on old people isn't that it makes them die. Oh, Jesus, that would have sucked. Yeah, NASA, he's dead. Shit. All right, go to Operation Weekend at Bernie's. They got a little chip they plug into the back of his skull that makes him turn on, blink, and talk for a couple of minutes at a time. Oh, hello, yes, this is John Glenn. I'm having a hell of a good time here in space. Thank you for the opportunity to come back. You can see it's very beautiful out here. Tell everyone, I love them. Thank you very much. And then, like, when the batteries wear out on that, they just have him pretend like he's doing somersaults. You know what I mean? Because once you're in motion in space, you'll just stay in motion. Oh, they're turning on the cameras. Hang on a second. Let me get John spinning. Yeah, everything's fine up here. No, John's having a blast. You want to talk to him? Hang on. Hey, John, you want to talk to the people at home? No, just tell them they're normal. We're having a really good time in space here. Thank you very much. I think actually it proves that there's life on Mars. And NASA knows there's life on Mars. We're going to go to Mars and we're going to conquer the life on Mars. We're going to put them on little reservations. Then we're going to put casinos on those little reservations. And we want to make sure the old people can get there before we even start. You see what I'm saying?
You just get like depressed, but then every now and again you'll stumble across something that just gives you hope. You know, he's like, oh, we're gonna be fine. I heard the best excuse for anything ever. Kid in Tennessee, I'm not kidding, got arrested for burning the flag, right? But his dad's talking to the paper, and he's like, well, he wasn't really burning the flag. He just got drunk and started burning stuff. It could have been anything. It could have been a nun. It could have been a cougar. It just happened to be a flag. That's going to solve some problems, don't you think? We got a new Supreme Court coming up. We might need that. Your Honor, I wasn't getting an abortion. I just got drunk and started vacuuming my vagina.
I saw The Passion of the Christ, or as I've been calling it, Take That, Jesus. And I now understand why Santa Claus has reindeer. Let me explain. That's not a movie really about what Jesus did for us. That's a movie about what we did to Jesus, okay? Jesus came to earth and said, I love you, and you should love each other. And we said, get him! And Santa saw that and said, you know what? I love you too, but I'm going to need some kind of an escape route. Perhaps a flying goat or something. Maybe we should whittle this down to like once a year or so, because UMX is crazy.
I like being in Wisconsin, man, but you people you drink. Like, I have never taken a solid shit in Wisconsin, okay? And that's wrong. It hurts. I've been traveling, man. That's all I do. I'm a comic, and that's all I went to Texas this year for the very first time, and I'd never been to Texas, and I was a little freaked out, because it's Texas, and they've got a bit of a reputation. And I was born in North Dakota, so it's not like you're gonna out-white trash me. But I'd never been to Texas, and I didn't know what to expect, and I drove, so I had like 18 hours in the car to form like a mental picture of what I was getting into, and like in my mind, I'm seeing like row after row of trailer houses with pregnant women wearing halter tops, standing on porches screaming stuff like, Billy, you said you was gonna help me raise these goddamn babies! You said you weren't gonna drink no more, and I won't say stupid shit if you won't be hitting me. But, it's just a bunch of people. I never get laid, sir. Never. Couple of things about Texas, though. They got the worst interstates in the world, and they coupled them with the worst rest areas in the world, right? Not only do they not have a door on any of the stalls, which is a problem, but they don't have a roof. And I think the idea is that way you can sit there and look out at the sky and some birds and a tree while you're pooping, but there's always like a one-eyed albino in the tree with a banjo kind of rubbing himself, looking at you. Truckers waiting in line for the stall, trying to strike up a little chit-chat, You should try rocking back and forth or something. You're all gummed up, for Christ's sakes, I got granola snacks out in the truck if you want me. You want a spoon or something? Anyway. And, it never gets cold there, man. It's always warm, And the good news there is, if you're talking to a girl in Texas in December and she starts to nip, it's you. It's not the weather, man. But the bugs never die, right? Because it never gets cold enough to kill them, right? So they just get huge. I get to my hotel and I look in the bathtub and there's a cockroach. It's like that fucking big. Welcome to Texas. Jesus Christ. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're a man and there's a big icky bug and you don't have a woman with you to go, oh, there's a big icky bug. That energy floats around the room till it comes out of you, so you end up being a big puss and go, oh, there's a big icky bug. But no man is calling the front desk of a hotel, to go, Jesus, there's a bug in the tub and it's fucking huge. It's looking at me, it's gonna touch my shit, and just scared, and I want you to hold me. This is fucked up. Get them. So I ended up sitting there for like 3 hours just chain smoking, because like maybe there's something I need to know, you know? Like I'll go to kill it and it'll jump out of the tub and take like a big chunk out of my skull, but they don't tell you that when you get there, because that's like the little joke in Texas, you know? So like I'll be walking down the street with a big hunk missing out of my head, and they'll be like, "Well, to Texas, dumbass, didn't hear about the bugs, did you? Woo!" Rotten pricks.
I like music though. I'm a big music fan. I liked Kurt Cobain. I didn't like him because he was a big heroin addict, because he killed himself. I just liked him because he wrote good songs and everything like that. And I was sad when he died. But if you read any of the interviews with people, Kurt Cobain was in Nirvana, in case you didn't know. I'm not going to leave the boat. Anyway, if you read any interviews, everybody they talked to said the same thing. Okay, everybody said, you know, the person I feel sorry for is his daughter, little Frances Bean, because now she's going to grow up without a daddy. And granted, that's sad and everything, but if you stop and think about it, really, missing your shot, to be raised by a gun-toting heroin addict, it's not all bad. You know what I'm saying? It makes for weird quality time, actually. Daddy, can I find the vein? That's it. That's an achy childhood. That's a thing.
Did you know you can't use nuclear bombs for other stuff? Did you know that? Did you know we tried? We shot them into the ground to shake loose natural gas. And when you do that, what you get is radioactive natural gas. But if it worked, we were going to use it to like build tunnels and like canals. And like, I love the thinking on that, you know? As a weapon, nuclear bomb, far too destructive. But as a shovel, when used in anger, a nuclear bomb makes the earth unlivable for 1,000 lifetimes. But when used in love, the radioactivity turns to candy.
Health insurance right now, that blows. I had to treat a broken leg with echinacea. That's bullshit, right? You know what echinacea is? It's an herb, right? People take it when they have colds, and the deal is you take it and it'll make you feel better. But they did a study, and I've taken it, and it made me feel better, by the way, but they did a study, and it turns out it's psychosomatic, which means it works because you think it works. But I don't think it works. Yet I took it, and I feel better. So my question to you is, why am I lying to myself?
And I know of what I speak because I've been to Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're not like the rest of the world, man. They love Jesus down there, man. They love Jesus, you know? It's not like everywhere else where when people are Christians, they love Jesus like he's their Lord and Savior. Oh no, you go to Tulsa, they love Jesus like he's their favorite goddamn wrestler, okay? I was at a grocery store, a guy was stacking peaches, but then he dropped a peach. But then he caught the peach right before it hit the ground. The woman behind the counter looks at him and she goes, "That's because Jesus loves you." You're a fucking freak, lady. You need to give Jesus a break, okay? You don't have to call him for everything. I mean, God gave you free will. It's a form of delegation. If you don't know how much butter goes in the macaroni and cheese, look on the box, you retard. Don't be calling Jesus about it. People sitting at home, their kids have cancer, they can't get Jesus on the phone because the line's all tied up because these douchebags are... Jesus, we were just wondering, what's your favorite kind of Pop-Tarts? Jesus, who's your favorite Pokemon? Is it Pikachu or Jigglypuff? Jesus walking around having all stressed out, drinking scotch, chewing Tums, wearing a t-shirt that says the Lord helps those who help themselves. So pick your own fucking lottery numbers.
Not that I'm easy to be married to by any stretch of the imagination. See, I'm a comedian, and I was a comedian, and it's not always appropriate to be a comedian. For example, when you're in bed with your new wife, that is considered a bad time to be a comedian. But I couldn't help myself, I'd do it anyway. Right before I climax, I always have to go, honey, pull my finger. Put it out. I don't want.
Basically, I'm what you would call, I'm like an upbeat pessimist. You know? Like, I believe tomorrow we're all gonna die happy.